Welcome. Today we're diving into the enchanting town of Sighișoara, a gem nestled in the heart of Romania. Sighișoara, a living medieval citadel, perched gracefully on a hill above the Mare River. Sighișoara is a town that seems frozen in time. Its cobblestone streets winged steeply between pastel-colored houses with steep, red-tiled roofs, their wooden shutters flapping softly in the breeze. The scent of freshly baked bread from small bakeries mingles with the faint aroma of pine and aged stone from the ancient fortifications. The citadel itself is an imposing yet charming spectacle. Clock Tower, the sentinel of the town, rises above the central square, its centuries-old clock ticking rhythmically, accompanied by the mechanical figures that have danced across its face for generations. Around the square, narrow alleys beckon travelers to explore, revealing small guild houses, artisan workshops, and hidden courtyards where history whispers from every corner. The covered staircase, its wooden roof protecting generations of scholars and clergy, leads up to the church on the hill, whose Gothic spires pierce the sky. From here, the view sweeps across the rolling Transylvanian hills, dotted with ancient oaks of the bright plateau and distant villages, a panorama that has remained largely unchanged for centuries. Everywhere in Sighișoara, one can sense the shadow of Vlad the Impaler, born in this very town. The Vlad Dracul house is a quiet reminder of the early life of a man whose legend would stretch across continents. The stories of his brutal justice, entwined with myth and folklore, add a haunting dimension to the otherwise serene medieval town. At night, lanterns cast warm pools of light on the cobblestones, and the citadel transforms into a timeless tableau of medieval life. Musicians playing traditional instruments, the murmur of locals recounting tales, and the echo of footsteps on stone stairways create a living museum that breathes history into the present. Sighișoara is not just a place to see, it is a place to experience, where every corner tells a story, every tower guards a secret, and every stone remembers centuries of human endeavor, triumph, and legend. 1. Foundation and early history. Sighișoara, located in the heart of Transylvania, is one of Romania's most remarkable medieval towns. Known in German as Spurg and in Hungarian as Sighișoara, its origins trace back to the 12th century. The town's early foundation is linked to the settlement of the Transylvanian Saxons, a community of German-speaking settlers invited by the Hungarian kings to develop trade, crafts, and fortifications along the borders of the kingdom. These Saxons were not only skilled artisans but also adept at defense, and they brought with them advanced techniques in stonework, urban planning, and guild organization. The settlement was initially built around a Roman castrum, evidence of an earlier Roman presence in the region, which hints at a long tradition of strategic occupation in the area. The earliest surviving document mentioning the settlement refers to it as Castrum Sex, meaning Fort 6, possibly referencing the hexagonal layout of the fortifications. By the late 13th century, the town had become an important center of trade and military defense in Transylvania, and it gradually evolved into a thriving citadel with a complex network of walls, towers, and guild halls. The Saxons' influence is still visible today in the town's architectural style and urban planning. Streets are narrow and cobbled. Houses often feature vaulted cellars and timber frames, and the citadel's layout reflects medieval defensive principles. This combination of practicality and artistry would shape the town's character for centuries, making Sighișoara not only a fortified settlement, but also a hub of culture, craft, and early commerce in Transylvania. 2. UNESCO World Heritage status. The old citadel of Sighișoara is remarkably well preserved, which is why in 1999 it was inscribed on UNESCO's list of World Heritage Sites. Unlike many medieval towns that suffered destruction or modern redevelopment, Sighișoara retains its original fortifications, towers, and streets, and the citadel is still inhabited. This continuous inhabitation is unusual for medieval towns of this era and contributes to the living history experience visitors can enjoy. The UNESCO recognition underscores the town's significance as an exemplar of a small, fortified medieval urban settlement in Central Europe. The site includes not only the city walls and towers, but also the town's central square, churches, schools, and residential buildings. The clock tower, which functions as a museum today, dominates the skyline and remains a central feature in the historic fabric of the town. Each building, street, and staircase tells a story of communal life, defense, and social organization during the height of Transylvanian Saxon influence. 3. The towers and defensive system. Sighișoara's fortifications are among the best preserved in Eastern Europe. Each tower within the citadel was typically maintained by a craft guild, which ensured both its upkeep and rapid mobilization in times. These towers were multifunctional, defensive structures, symbols of the guild's status, and storage for valuable goods. The clock tower, built in the 13th-14th centuries, was originally a gate tower that later served as the town hall. It is approximately 64 meters tall and features a striking clock mechanism with allegorical figures representing justice, peace, and other virtues. Its layered architecture with successive modifications over centuries reflects the town's resilience and adaptability in the face of fires, sieges, and political change. Other towers, such as the tinsmith's tower, highlight the importance of guilds in the town's defense system. The tin tower demonstrates a mix of architectural styles due to periodic renovations and damages. Its square base transitions into pentagonal or octagonal forms, showing the evolution of medieval defensive techniques. These towers were crucial during Ottoman incursions and internal conflicts, providing both refuge and a platform for surveillance over the surrounding landscape. 4. Landmark structures and architecture. Sighișoara's architectural gems extend beyond its defensive towers. The covered staircase, built in 1642, allowed students and clergy to access the church on the hill safely during winter months. Originally consisting of about 175 steps, the wooden structure demonstrates ingenious design. It shelters individuals from rain and snow while maintaining a steep, defensive incline. Its steps are grouped symbolically, sometimes reflecting the days of the week, which illustrates the integration of practical urban planning and cultural symbolism. The church on the hill is another architectural highlight. This Gothic-style building, constructed between the 14th and 16th centuries, incorporates parts of older Roman fortifications. Inside, visitors can explore frescoes, tombs, and crypts that chronicle centuries of local history. Its elevated location above the town not only provided defense, but also gave it spiritual prominence, symbolizing the church's role as a protector of the community. Together, These structures demonstrate how Sighișoara balanced practical urban needs with aesthetic and symbolic considerations. Every staircase, church, and tower contributes to a cohesive narrative of medieval life, defense, and community organization. 5. Vlad the Impaler. Birth and early years in Sighișoara. Vlad III, known to history as Vlad the Impaler or Vlad Gepec, was born in Sighișoara around 14. His birthplace, known today as the Vlad Dracul House, is located on 10th Street, near the town square. The house has been preserved as a museum and restaurant, allowing visitors to glimpse the environment in which one of history's most infamous figures spent his early years. Vlad's father, Vlad II Dracul, was a member of the Order of the Dragon, a chivalric order sworn to defend Christendom against Ottoman expansion. The title Dracul means dragon in Romanian, and Vlad III became Dracula, literally son of Dracul. Although Vlad spent only a few early years in Sighișoara before moving to Wallachia with his family, the town proudly claims its connection to him, blending historical facts with folklore and legend. The environment of Sighișoara, fortified, disciplined, and culturally vibrant, likely influenced young Vlad's understanding of power, defense, and the importance of strategic thinking. While much of his later notoriety was shaped by political and military challenges in Wallachia, his early exposure to fortified Saxon towns and organized urban life may have contributed to his strategic mindset. 6. Vlad the Impaler's later life, rule, and reputation. Vlad III had multiple reigns as voivode of Wallachia, during which he gained a reputation for cruelty and strict justice. He was known for his use of impalement as a form of punishment and psychological warfare, earning him the moniker Gepec, meaning the Impaler. Historical accounts describe his campaigns against both the Ottomans and internal rivals, emphasizing fear as a tool of governance. Despite the brutality, some historians argue that Vlad's methods were intended to enforce law, consolidate power, and protect his realm from external threats. His actions, though violent, reflected the harsh realities of 15th century Eastern European politics, where betrayal, invasion, and instability were constant threats. Bram Stoker's Dracula borrowed the name and some aspects of the historical figure, but it fictionalized much of Vlad's life. Nonetheless, Sighișoara leverages the connection to Vlad to attract tourism, offering visitors a glimpse into the birthplace of a figure who has fascinated the world for centuries. 7. Sighișoara and Vlad, myth, heritage, tourism. Tourism in Sighișoara heavily emphasizes the connection to Vlad the Impaler. The Vlad Dracul House is the centerpiece of this narrative, featuring medieval-style decor, a small weapons collection, and information about the family's history. While the house's association with Vlad is historically accurate, many legends surrounding his childhood in Sighișoara have been embellished over the centuries. This blending of fact and folklore enriches the visitor experience. Stories of Vlad's early life, the mysterious atmosphere of the citadel, and the town's medieval charm create a powerful narrative that connects the past with contemporary cultural identity. Sighișoara's ability to integrate Vlad's story into its broader historical context demonstrates a sophisticated approach to heritage tourism. 8. Culture, festivals, and local life. Sighișoara maintains a vibrant cultural life that reflects both its medieval heritage and modern creativity. The medieval festival, held annually in July, transforms the citadel into a living museum. Costumed performers reenact historical events, musicians play medieval instruments, and artisans demonstrate traditional crafts. Visitors can engage with the past in a hands-on way, exploring workshops, tasting period foods, and participating in games and performances. The town's museums complement these events. The Clock Tower Museum displays archaeological finds, medieval weapons, guild artifacts, and even timekeeping devices, providing a window into the daily lives of Sighișoara's inhabitants over the centuries. Together, festivals and museums create a dynamic cultural ecosystem that honors history while inviting contemporary participation. 9. Geography, setting, and natural surroundings. Sighișoara's location on the river Tarnava Mare provides both strategic advantages and scenic beauty. The citadel sits at an elevation of about 380 meters, overlooking the surrounding plains and hills. The nearby Bright Plateau is a nature reserve that preserves ancient oak and hornbeam trees, offering hiking trails, panoramic views, and a sense of connection to the natural environment that has shaped the region for centuries. The town's topography also influenced its development. Steep hills dictated the construction of defensive walls and stairways, while the river supported trade and agriculture. This combination of natural resources, strategic location, and fortified infrastructure contributed to Sighișoara's enduring significance in Transylvania. 10. Interesting tidbits and little-known facts. Sighișoara is full of fascinating details, often overlooked by casual visitors. Its name evolved over centuries, reflecting influences from German, Hungarian, and Romanian linguistic traditions. The clock tower's intricate mechanism, originally wooden and later upgraded to metal, features automata representing allegorical figures such as justice and peace. The covered staircase's design, symbolic grouping of steps, and continued use demonstrate the town's commitment to practical innovation. The church on the hill incorporates Roman foundations, Gothic architecture, and evangelical Saxon burial sites, reflecting layers of history. Even minor details like the placement of guild houses near specific towers illustrate the careful planning and social organization that defined medieval Sighișoara. Sighișoara stands as a remarkable testament to the endurance of history, culture, and human ingenuity. From its origins as a fortified settlement of Transylvanian Saxons to its current status as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the town offers a rare glimpse into medieval life, preserved in its towers, cobblestone streets, and guild houses. Every stone seems to whisper stories of centuries past of merchants, craftsmen, clergy, and warriors who built a community that could withstand time, conflict, and change. The town's intimate connection to Vlad the Impaler adds a layer of intrigue and complexity. As the birthplace of one of history's most notorious figures, Sighișoara bridges the line between legend and reality. Visitors are drawn not only to its architectural beauty, but also to the haunting legacy of Dracula, the stories of a man whose life and deeds continue to fascinate the world. Yet beyond the myths and folklore, Sighișoara reveals the human side of history, the lives of ordinary people, the craftsmanship of generations, and the enduring spirit of a community that flourished under adversity. Today, Sighișoara is more than a historical monument. It is a living citadel. Festivals bring its medieval streets to life. Museums preserve its heritage, and the rhythm of daily life continues atop its hills, just as it has for centuries. The town invites visitors to step into its past, to walk its narrow streets, climb its staircases, and gaze from its towers, feeling the pulse of history beneath their feet. In the end, Sighișoara is a place where time folds upon itself a town, where every corner, tower, and stone is a storyteller. It is a celebration of history, a keeper of legends, and a living reminder that the past, though centuries old, can still breathe vividly in the present. Whether drawn by the shadow of Vlad the Impaler or the beauty of a medieval citadel, those who visit Sighișoara leave with a sense of wonder, reflection, and a profound appreciation for the enduring tapestry of human history. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this, consider following for more captivating stories.